Welcome back. I'm Michelle, and this is Soul Space. This video is funded by the HSE through the Leitrim Development Company. And today's theme is releasing tension through the neck and the back, and also strengthening weak muscles that are along the spine and throughout the back that gives us that extra bit of pain when they get fatigued. So we're going to start on our hands and knees in tabletop position. So if we come this direction, hands and knees, and when we're putting our weight into our hands, we want our fingers spread apart. Open up the fingers. Knees are hip distance apart and the tops of the feet are on the mat. We're pushing the floor away from us, and we're going to come into our cat and cow sequence. So when we inhale, we tilt our head forward to look in front of us, and at the same time we let the belly drop down, so we're tilting the pelvis as well. So we're inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, the arms and legs stay the same, and we arch up, tuck the chin to the chest. You can gently press into the feet, stretching through the back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch it up. Moving with the breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, arch the back. One more dip forward. And a nice strong arch of the back like a Halloween cat. And then come back to neutral. Our neutral position is just a straight table. So we're pushing into the arms, we're pushing into the feet, we're holding the belly in, but we're not lifting or dropping through the spine. We're just holding it strong here for a few seconds. Gently shake out your head, and then focus on looking at the space between the two thumbs. Take 2 nice deep breaths. Keep pushing the floor away from you. And then we're going to shift our weight back towards our heels. So bum is coming as low as it can go. And then let's bring our hands towards our knees and sink down. So we're trying to bring our head down. I want you to stack your fists, one on top of the other. Your elbows can be touching your knees, and rest your forehead on those fists. And you can just wiggle around a little bit, just releasing a little bit of tension through the back. Let the spine extend. You're trying to stretch your bum down to the heels and soften the weight of the head through the forehead into the fists. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. This is called child's pose. Alternately, you can bring the arms to the side of the body and rest the forehead down. Sometimes if you kind of do that in stages, it can be a little bit more comfortable for the back. So now that we've taken a few breaths with the head on the fists, we can rest the head on the ground. When we do this, our shoulder blades start to stretch away from each other. So we're getting a gentle release through the upper back and still stretching through the length of the spine from the head down to the hips. Now, if this is uncomfortable to your chest or your belly, you can open the knees up a little bit wider so there's space here, and then come back into it. Another pose, but very similar, is like this. Forehead is down, arms are extended over. We're pushing the weight of our body back towards the heels, and then we can just gently let the forehead touch. So the arms are being strengthened a little bit while we're still releasing through the spine and stretching out the back. So stay in whichever variation you prefer for one more nice deep breath. Then we're going to come forward on to the front of our body. So bring your knees back towards center if they've been open. And lower the body forward and down. Okay, so wobble until your thighs are on the floor. Your feet are sort of just a natural distance apart. They shouldn't be touching because that would put some strain on the back. And then if you're on your elbows like me, make sure the elbow is beneath the shoulder and the palms are on the floor. So then you can kind of wobble the pelvis, and we're stretching through the back. Now this is called Sphinx pose, like the Sphinx statue in Egypt. So the part of the body is cat and part of the body is human. So our hands can be our paws. We can push into the floor, try to have our upper body as upright as possible and the lower body just down on the ground, sinking down. So this is a back bend. We're stretching through the back in a way that we probably don't do very often. It's strengthening some muscles and it's stretching other muscles. You also might feel a stretch through the front of the body, through the belly, through the chest. Those muscles, because usually we're hunched forward, those muscles are getting a real stretch as we stay in this position. We're going to release that and rest with our hands, our arms stacked elbow to palm, just for a couple of breaths. This is called crocodile. I'm not sure why. But our forehead is resting down again. We can wobble out our legs if we like, or keep them still. And take a few nice deep breaths with your belly and your chest pressed against the floor. Deep breathing is a different experience in this position. And as our lungs and our belly fill up with breath, it's lifting up the spine away from the floor, which is the reverse, obviously, of how it happens when we're laying down. So that's also like a little massage for all the muscles around the spine and into the chest. So it seems like we're doing nothing, but it is a different experience for the body. And it helps to balance out some of our daily activities. So from here, we're going to do something a little bit more active. Your feet should be spread out. If you're on a mat or in a space about the size of my yoga mat, I've got my feet spread out maybe about, I don't know, the width of my shoulders or more. My kneecaps are on the floor, my thighs are against the floor. And now I'm going to do the same with my arms. So I'm making just a sort of an X shape with my body. You could bring the legs out even further if you like. Arms can be spread out further if you like. So we're making an X. Now the little kids call this starfish because then if we include our head, we've got a 5-pointed star. We rest the forehead or the chin down as we exhale, and when we inhale, we're going to lift all 5 points up off the floor. So I exhale down, inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it all down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. This time we're going to try to hold it for a little while. So inhale, Lift it up, raise those arms up, try to get the knees off the floor, try to get the thighs off the floor. Looking at the floor, not too far ahead of you. Lift, 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 and then release. Take a couple of resting breaths. We're going to do that one more time, holding it as long as we can. Inhale, up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Squeeze your bum, lift up the legs, lift up the arms, and then relax. Now, that's the hard work done. We're going to bring one knee up to the side of our body and try to let that knee slide out as far as it'll go. I'm going to come back onto my elbows here. And just take a few relaxing breaths. I'm letting my knee slide out a bit more if it'll go. And then I'm stretching the inside of my thigh and releasing those back muscles down a little bit more. You can smile. This doesn't have to be too serious. We're just releasing some tension in the body while we strengthen a few other little bits that are hard to get to. One more breath, and then we'll do the other side. So same thing here. So I'm bringing this leg back straight. I'm bringing my other leg out to the side. I'm letting that knee slide out as far as it'll go. And then I'm propping myself upright onto the elbows. You can look down towards your hands. You can close your eyes. Taking a few deep breaths. Trying to let that low back and belly sink into the floor. One more breath, and then bring it in line again. We're going to lower down. Bring the forehead down. Bring the palms of the hands up beside the chest, beside the shoulder, and then we're going to bring the elbows out back towards our ribs. So you could even turn your fingertips outward a little bit so that your elbows are coming in towards your body. Tops of the feet are on the floor. We're going to lift up and push into the hands. So keep those elbows kind of tucked inward. We're pushing into the hands. Lengthen through the legs, just looking at the floor in front of you. Squeeze the bum, tighten through the low back, and release it down. We can try that without the arms. We can have the arms behind us. We can lift them up, or we can have them on the ground. And basically do the same thing, just lift up. Now we don't have the arms to help us, but we can reach behind us, squeeze the bum, squeeze the low back, push into the tops of the feet, and release. You're really working these muscles here. Now bring the palms back beside the chest. We're going to push back up and come back to open knees. Bum towards the heels, and walking the hands forward as far as they can go as we lower the body down. Now you can bring your forehead down, you can bring your chin down, or you can keep the head just lifted away from the floor. Push into the hands. You can stretch through the waist a little bit. And take 2 more nice deep breaths. Now, if you did these stretches twice a week, you'd really see the difference in the strength of your back. Really will improve your posture as well. I'm going to push up now and come to just sitting comfortably. If you're more comfortable with your legs out straight, that's perfect. The legs aren't going to do anything now. We're just sitting into a comfortable position, and we're going to do a little bit of releasing through the neck before just a little bit of quiet stillness. Take a breath or two and settle in to the position of the body. Wobble it down, get comfortable. If you don't know what to do with your hands, there's a few things that are popular to do with the hands. You can bring them on, just rest them on the kneecaps. I do that a lot. Or you can place one hand inside the other. So they're just kind of cupping each other, and you just layer them. Those are just things that help keep the body equal and give us a little bit of focus with the hands. You could also clasp the fingers if you like. I like to just cup mine, one inside the other. So we're going to bring the chin down to the chest now. Nice and easy, just as far as it'll go. Take a breath or two. Stretching through the back of the neck. Pull the shoulders down. And then real slowly look forward and then look upward. It doesn't have to be all the way at the ceiling, but we want to feel a stretch through the front of the neck here. You can even kind of jut the chin out, stretch through the chin, stretch through that muscle particularly. And then come back to center. We're going to tilt towards the right shoulder. And then the other one. I might go back a couple times there. Feel the stretch here. You can emphasize it a little bit by a slightest bit of pressure with the hand. Slight pressure there, and I can feel the stretch along this side from kind of right in the base of the skull, behind my ear. And then we're just going to circle the head around. So we can chin, shoulder, upward, chin, shoulder, circling upward and over. And then go the other direction. So look the other way and circle it up. And then just see how the neck feels. Hopefully the neck feels comfortable. Hopefully the back, after all that tightening now, is softening, releasing tension. And we'll just finish by counting the next few breaths. So as you inhale, count in your head 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, pull the breath down. Breathing out, push it back out. Breathing in, pull it all the way down to the belly. Exhale, release every little bit. Now for the next couple of breaths, I want you to put a hand on the belly, a hand on the chest. Breathe all the way down into the belly hand. As if we're filling up a balloon. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. When that balloon is full, see if you can fill up here, below the chest as well. Keep filling up, keep filling up. When you can't get any more, exhale the chest air first. Feel the chest deflate, then pull the belly in and get rid of that air. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathe right down into the belly. Blow it up, fill up the balloon of the belly. When it can't hold anymore, bring it into the chest. Topping up the air as if we're filling up the body. Exhale from the chest. Then squeeze the belly air out. You can pull the belly in to help bring the air up and out. And let's just take 2 more deep, strong breaths the same way, filling up the belly, filling up the chest, exhaling it out. In, out. Anytime we slow down and simply focus on the breath, it helps to calm the body and the mind. I hope this practice has been helpful for you, and I hope to see you again. Thanks for joining me.